was been such a big part of life.
These things haven't been seen for 25 years, so I've been slowly transferring the Betamax tapes to YouTube and putting them up on there just so I can get rid of my Betamax tapes, but also so other people can see them. And it turns out there's like tens of thousands of people that are just loving these things, and it's almost like rediscovering the whole the whole series.
Well, it's not the original show, but it's still pretty damn good.
You're right. It probably didn't have quite the writing, but it's very fun. And I have to say, I think you and your sons are probably the highlight of the whole thing. You guys are just hilarious.
Hey, Chef Boyardee, let's move it, huh? I wanted indifferent service. I'd have gone to a good restaurant. Will you look at that? You get more turkey at the rescue mission. Is that flea or puppy seed?
Sir, your sense of humor is refreshing as usual. And I'll remember this moment when the day begins to lag.
You guys obviously did the movie, the Still the Beaver movie for CBS.
I can't believe it.
Wally, don't hit it. You're a member of the bar.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. I'm glad to see somebody here has decided to be the voice of reason. And I might add, that's a lovely dress you're wearing today.
Wally, I've changed my mind. Hit him.
And then you went and did the first season with the Disney Channel, and then 3 seasons with Ted Turner. Did you like the series when you first started to do the series on the Disney Channel?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We had so many of even the old crew members there, and it just felt like home.
Oh, good. You know, one thing that I enjoyed, I think that it seemed like Eddie Haskell, the character, got even more focus in the series all the way through. The very second episode, the Thanksgiving Day, was a kind of a poignant story about where you didn't have family, and I guess Beaver's son was trying to go somewhere with a friend.
You know the old Beaver, he may not be Obi-Wan Kenobi, but he's got a big heart and a real forgiving nature.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Haskell. I appreciate it.
Hey, Sam, don't go spreading it around. I got a reputation to protect.
And then you had another episode with your wife, Gert, and she was leaving you.
I'm not promising you a personality transplant, but I guess I could spend a lot more time with you and Freddie and what's-his-name in military school.
Hey, Eddie, how about it? Are we going to the boat show or not? Hey, what are you doing?
So it seemed like you had all the old Eddie Haskell personality, but you also had a lot more focus of your story and some softer sides too.
Well, I was more of an adult then too, and I understood more what was going on around me.
Right. Did you have any input on that at all?
We had more input on the new show than on the original. The original was very, very carefully scripted. We had more leeway on the new show.
Whose idea was it to cast your sons, first Eric and then Christian joined later?
Actually, it was not a shoe-in, which you would easily think. Eric actually went to the cattle call type interview. Of course, I had coached him, and so he had the Eddie tackle down, and he had an advantage there. But he did have to stand up against a lot of competition to get the part.
That's interesting, and I was going to ask you that Eddie or Haskell cackle, was that something that he had grown up with or was familiar with and did around the house, or was that something he had to practice for the new show?
He definitely took direction from me to get it down, and he practiced it around the house and such.
That's great. Well, he got it down very well. He did great, and Christian later did it too.
Well, obviously they assign homerooms by good looks. And you didn't make the cut.
Like father, like son. Enough said.
You know, I went into that actually pretty much in detail. The book that I wrote, and I believe you read it.
Yes, of course. I saw the video online of your book signing you did where Eric and Christian showed up there.
Okay, one more question. Yes.
Can you and your son still do the Haskell laugh?
I was going to get him to do that.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, Eric.
Christian, too.
Was there anything unique for you as an actor working on Still the Beaver as an adult rather than a child? Was there anything different interacting with the other actors like Barbara Billingsley as an adult now instead of a kid?
You know, I never thought of it as working as an actor. It just, it was there. It was a job, and I did my best to do it.
Right. Did you specifically try to bring anything different to the character as an adult, or did you try to pretty much play him as the same personality he had as a kid?
Well, hopefully the latter is true.
Well, he was just as funny and enjoyable, that's for sure. Do you remember any of the specific Eddie put-downs or sarcastic lines that you really enjoyed?
Well, Eddie, as an adult, used a lot of the put-downs that he did as a child.
Right, that's true. He had a name for everybody. He called everybody, Gertrude or some sort of...
Yeah, or Squirt.
Squirt, yeah, that's right. I noticed in one episode, the Still the Beaver episode in the first season, I just literally laughed out loud as I was recording it, where your son, Freddie, Eric, was going out on a date. I think it was his first date. And you sat down and wanted to give him some fatherly advice.
Well, that's from the movie.
You did it in the movie as well. I was going to ask you about that. Almost the exact same line with the other actors.
When you get to be my age, you'll learn something about women. And on this night of your first date, I'm going to pass these secrets along to you.
That's very generous of you, sir.
Son, women are all a bunch of bloodsuckers, out to get whatever they can. And when they've used you up, they'll toss you aside like an old sock. Now you run along and have a good time.
So, your first boy-girl party. Let me take this opportunity to impart upon you a little wisdom culled from years of experience in the field.
That's very generous of you, Dad.
Boys, women are all a bunch of bloodsuckers, out to get you any way they can. And when they finally succeed in breaking your spirit, they'll flush you like a dead goldfish. Now you boys be on your way and have a great time.
Mom, Dad, can we open the presents now, please, 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 please?
June?
It's nothing I like more than an educational gift. Excuse me, Miss Sanders.
Gilbert Bates.
Yo, I'm Gilbert.
Hey, Wally. Hey, guys. Ah, Wallace, how fortuitous. What do you want, Eddie? Hey, Lumpy, ain't you late for your shrink appointment? And you trusted me. Big mistake.
Oh, that was horrible. That was a piece of trash.
That's interesting. Why do you say that about the movie?
I don't know. It just... I didn't care for the movie itself, actually.
Okay. If you were to, as Eddie Haskell, give a brief description of each of the main characters, like now, what would you say about Beaver?
He's a sport.
And what about Wally?
Wally's kind of a neat guy.
Okay. What would Eddie Haskell say describing June Cleaver?
Barbara was such an absolute sweetheart. If I described her with one word, it would be gracious.
That's very
nice. I love Barbara. She was really a love.
What did you think of the kids on the show when you were doing Still the Beaver and the new Leave It to Beaver? What did you think of the kid actors as actors? Obviously your sons.
They were really quite good. Yeah, they did their job very well.
Did you see yourself in any of them as, when you were a kid doing acting? Any things that they did or any advice you could impart to them working on a very similar show?
Probably the hardest part for me was keeping my nose out of it. I'm not a director, and I let the directors do their job. And I had to kind of fight my own paternal instincts and not jump in the middle of it. I think I did it all right.
It came across well on the screen, so you must have done all right. What was that like when you had to move down to Florida? I don't know I guess you did move temporarily down to Florida to shoot.
Yeah, we lived half a year down there. It was a neat time, probably more for my older son than me. I mean, they gave us a car and an apartment, and we got per diem. I mean, who could ask for more?
So it wasn't too much of an inconvenience. Your whole family moved, I guess, right?
Oh, no, I loved it down there.
I wondered when it got to the end, was that okay with you? Had your fill and ready to be done with the show down there, or would you have kept going?
No, I would have loved another season.
They're bringing back all these old shows again. I wondered, that somebody said we want to, do another version of Beaver and have you guys be grandfathers. What would you think of that?
I'm at a stage of life now. I'm retired. I'm tired. My first film work was in 1949, and I spent enough years in it, and I'm tired. I'm ready to kick back and have me a cold one.
What's Ken Osmond do for fun? What do you do in your free time? How do you enjoy your days?
My sons and I have been building an airplane for 10 years anyway, and it is real close to flying. It's a SkyStar, two-place tail dragger. We have a Subaru engine in it.
Wow. So are you a pilot? Do you fly?
Back in the mid-50s, I flew helicopters. I've never gone out for a fixed-wing license.
You live in the LA area somewhere?
Suburb of LA, yeah. Very rural area.
Eric is an editor and Christian is a vet surgeon.
Correct.
And they got kids now? Are you a grandfather?
Got two grandsons from Eric, the older.
You stay in touch with any of the other actors you used to work with on the Beaver shows?
Yeah, but not real often. But Frank Bank, Lumpy, and I got pretty close before he passed away. I saw him pretty regularly.
I hope you get better with the nerve things in your leg.
Oh, I will. I have to. Now I'm not walking. I got a little electric scooter that I run around the house with. Oh yeah, I'll get over it.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? You're in your 70s, right?
That's a stress question. 76.
Well, you still got a lot of good years left. I know you'll get feeling better. I hope it's not too painful in the meantime.
Well, it is somewhat.
Uh-oh.
I'll make it. You can plug my book for me. Available on Amazon.
Okay, I will definitely plug it.
Alrighty, Scott.
All right, take care.
Goodbye.